because someone will always ask me that. All right, so tonight we're going to talk about hosting monthly groups, and not just challenge groups, but intern groups. And I think that's one thing that, like, I just kind of assume that people do every month, but really we need to get back to our roots. And that's one thing that we're hearing more and more, especially if you've seen a slump in your business. We all have. And it's being talked about on the 5-star wall quite a bit. I'm hopping on a phone call tomorrow that's talking about the way social media is changing. Like, I know we had even kind of talked about this, that, you know, our social media posts are not being seen as much, and what do we need to do in order to stay with the times. But then also going back to our roots and staying true to the product, which means holding challenge groups. And so I have been really bad about hosting groups because I've always led with the business, and that's always kind of been where my heart is, even though I love the product. And so one thing that I do notice is that when I hold monthly challenge groups, for some reason my business just goes a little bit better. Now, my rank advancement doesn't go any better, but I always have good people, like substantial people that I can talk to. And then I know that even if it's 2, 3, 5 people in my group, I'm at least helping a handful of people every single month. So I'm going to actually put like a semi presentation together, if I can find my screen share. So now I got to find it. All right. There we go. All right, so we're going to talk about groups tonight. And that's part of the 6-figure checklist. Is I hold monthly challenge groups consistently, and setting a date to know exactly when you start. Setting a date where, setting a date so that you know every single month when to advertise for. For me, I have been really bad, and I will admit it, and say I'll just kind of pick a date, because I really kind of fly by the seat of my pants the majority of my life, and I'm not organized. And so it's really hard for me to say, okay, on the 15th of every month, I'm going to host a group. But when I do that, I know that if my group starts on the 15th, on the 1st through the 10th, I need to start advertising for challenge groups. And so I know in my Power of 3 or Daily 4s, whichever one you do, and I know that my posts will all kind of refer more towards challenge groups during that time. I might kind of like put breadcrumbs, like stay tuned for my next challenge group. Or I'll do last minute posts, which the last one I got surprisingly did really good. I was really surprised. But at least I have a time frame that I know from the 1st to the 10th, that's what I need to be posting about and inviting about. If I don't have these dates set in place, then I'm just kind of inviting without a purpose. And so in turn, like one day I'll post, you know, about an intern, and one day I'll post about a challenge group, and one day I'll post about a sneak peek. And in turn, people get really confused as to what's going on in your life. And so making sure that you have a date, and I really think mine is like the 20-ish, because of course I won't set like an actual date, but it's like the 3rd week of the month, I'll always set my challenge group. And so I know that in week 2 or 3 of my current challenge group, I need to start inviting for my next one. And it's always the same type. I always do 21-day fix, 21-day fix extreme, or hammer and chisel. So even though I might love Body Beast, I kind of stick to ones that I know is going to do well. Those are always kind of easy programs that, you know, they kind of start getting the hang of. So set your dates. Set your date for your challenge group, and then like the 2 weeks out of that one, set your date for your intern group. So we'll kind of talk about that in a minute. So the challenge tracker portal, this is how I've been doing my past 2 challenge groups. And I don't know if any of you guys were in the last one. I hosted like a big one for the team last month, and then this one is smaller. So of course, like my phone was going off. I can't figure out how to turn the notifications off on my phone on the app. So my phone is not going off nearly as much this month, but we just started. This is really, really simple to use. I really like it. I think even over Facebook groups, just because I know that I need to open up, it's sitting right there on my home screen on my phone. So I literally just, pop it open, go through, check the post, and then I post my own. And so I use something that I got from Erica Buzzard that she calls our wins. And so the W stands for workout, the I is inspiration, the N is nutrition, and the S is self-love. And so I didn't do too good today because I'm brand new to this. But I try to really kind of make those posts in my challenge group. So I went in, and this is like a screenshot, just so that you can kind of see, like on desktop, if you haven't used it yet, what it looks like. You can create your new group over here, but this is the current one over here. And so I just click on that. And then I auto schedule it out, all my posts to go out at 6 o'clock in the morning. A, because I'm not up that early, and B, if I wait till 10 o'clock, I might not even do it then. So I go ahead and auto schedule out a 6 a.m. post that I use from Team Beachbody. Like, I don't change it whatsoever. That's exactly what I use. But for this month, I've started implementing the wins method, or whatever you call. And so that way they see me working out, and hopefully that's inspiration. I'm talking about inspiration, which is kind of what the 6 a.m. post is. But I've still gone on Pinterest and kind of like looked at inspiration. Or what I'm going to do is kind of talk about like leaving breadcrumbs about the business and kind of inspiring them there, even though I'm not saying, hey, this is what I've done, but at least like short posts, like I'm drinking Shakeology outside, that kind of things. I'm so glad I have the freedom to do X, Y, Z. Nutrition, that could be your dinner that you had that day. And then self-love, which I'm really big about. You can pull a quote out of the book that you're reading, which A, will keep you on track of reading personal development. It does for me. And then pick a quote that you can use. Like for me, I don't like reading business books because they really bore me, but I love like right now I'm reading The Confidence Code, and I'm reading Wonder Life because we never did a group at Crosspoint, Mike. So I'm just reading it on my own. And so I've taken quotes from that, and I'm really bad about binning pages. And so I'll just kind of bin pages and use those in my challenge group. So that might kind of, at least, you might be the only one posting, and that's fine. But hopefully you're keeping them on track. They're seeing your posts. And the cool thing is on the app, you can see who's logged in their workouts. And then they get a notification if they have not worked out. So that's kind of good too, that you don't have to be there, like always right there breathing on them. You're there to cheer them along, and then they get notifications from the app. Also, every Monday, I've started sending out voice messages to my challengers, and literally you can forward, you can hit that little forward button to where, so you're not even like recording yourself every time you send a message, but just saying, hey, I hope you're having a good day. What's happening?
My bad.
Oh, here it is. There we go. So like here's one of the posts that I did today, and that's literally an auto schedule post, just so that they have something that they wake up to. So the next thing is posting. Yes, you need to be inviting, but you also need to be posting. I say if your challenge group starts on the 15th, you're going to advertise the 1st through, I would say, the 10th. And that person that orders on the 10th will probably start late. But I would say like a 10-day period that you're going to advertise, and that you're going to really be like pushing this and messaging about this. So I would say post and advertise on your page at least 2 times a week. So a total of 4 times in your 2-week thing. But then you're also going to be messaging people as well. But kind of when you make posts, and these are always like really hard for me because they either flop or they do really good. And I'm not sure, I can't tell you what flops and what does really good. I will tell you that the ones that do good are the ones that are eye-catching. And so like using emojis always kind of helps. All capping certain words is another thing. But then really dipping into your story and talking about what can happen in 21 days. If you worked out consistently, or if you ate healthy for 21 days, what did that do to you? What have you accomplished in 21 days? Whether it's that you quit drinking soda or that you did work out consistently for the 21 days. So you don't have to use 21 days, but that's kind of like the only thing that I use for my challenge groups because they're easy. But dip into your story as to why they should join you. So maybe not, the program's on sale. This, you could earn basically paying $10, $20 for 21-day fix, but talking about what the workout, what the programs, what your passion is. Why are you here? What got you here? What programs have you done and how did they make you feel? And sharing that part of your story, and not that it's on, you could put at the end, like, P.S. it is on sale. And I know that I've done that with the on-demand. Basically you can work out for free for 30 days. So why would you not work out with me for 30 days? And I noticed that when I would like talk about blah, 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 oh, plus it's free for 30 days, then I would have a lot more traction than saying, you want to work out with me for 30 days for free? Because no one will hop on. So you really have to be vulnerable and dig into your story. And if you feel like that you don't have a story, you need to go back and look at your pictures at where you were even 30 days ago and look at what you've accomplished in 30 days, because you have. We all have. You might have missed workouts, and that's okay. You might have missed drinking Shakeology, and that's okay. But there's a story there somewhere. You're not the same person that you were 30 days ago. I'm not. So everyone has some type of story. So the next thing we're going to talk about that I don't think a lot of people do are intern programs. And Stephanie was one of them, and there was someone else. I don't remember who else was on that call. It was Jessica Hall. Is Jessica on here, or did she have to? Yep, okay. Are intern groups. So the reason why I say, I bet we're going like super overtime. Anyways, the reason why I say to have dates to your groups is because you're not just doing a challenge group. You also need to be doing intern programs. And I know that that is super scary, but even if you pair it up with a couple of people, with a couple of coaches, and like me and Christine she posts 3 days a week, I post 3 days a week, one day we don't post anything. And basically we're talking to ourselves every single day. Might comments every once in a while, but what we're doing is consistent. And so we are teaching them the basics. It's just like a challenge group, basically. And so you need to have your challenge group date, but you also need to hold mentor programs or intern programs or whatever you want to call it for 30 days. I wouldn't go over 30 days because it's going to be hard enough to keep them motivated for 30 days, period. But literally, same thing. We use the Coach Basics in the Coach Online office. Reason being is that they've done the studies for you. They know, they've talked to all the top coaches. They have, masterminded this schedule. So why would you not use that? I definitely don't want to create my own because I just don't want to. I don't have the time, and I'm not sure if my system is perfect. So I would rather use someone else's system that is perfect and slightly make it my own. So I just kind of grabbed this from Lindsay Matway because I was trying to rush and get this together. But same thing with your challenge groups. You want to advertise for your intern programs the same way that you would for your challenge group. And not just saying, okay, this is what I'm doing. It's dipping into your story. And same thing, you have a story. It might not be a Lindsay Matway story, but you're also not Lindsay Matway. You are you. You are Christine. You are Stephanie. You are Jessica. You're Aaliyah. And you have those stories there. You just have to open up and share them. And one thing that I was saying was that Stephanie and Jessica actually finally bit the bullet to sign up as coaches because the people that they signed up under were posting about intern programs. And so they were talking on a call that they felt like that if they could sign up now and do it with someone showing them the ropes, then they felt more open to doing it. And so if you're not holding coach interns, set your date tonight. That should be as important as holding monthly challenge groups. And I know that I kind of moved away from it. And when I did, I moved away from a lot. I started seeing a huge shift in my business. And so when you go back to the basics of challenge groups and monthly intern programs, you're going to see that consistency pay off. You just have to be consistent. And whether you have one person or whether you have 5, you still do it. And even though it kind of stinks, you still just do it. And you advertise for it. And you invite to it. And so setting those dates as well will help them make the decision. And so if you say, well, I'm holding a challenge group for whenever you order, then they're not going to have that time constraint put on them. And same thing for intern programs. It's a great way to say, hey, I'm holding this monthly challenge or this monthly mentor program. I want you to sign up as a coach and let's rock the basics together. But if you're not holding them consistently, or if you don't have that date already in your head or written down on paper, then it's just going to kind of be floating by. So make sure that tonight you set your dates for your next challenge group and for your intern program. And set them 2 weeks apart so that you have time to advertise for one and then you have time to advertise for the other instead of advertising for whatever comes to your head, because that's kind of like me, but it really does work to have order of some type. So I'll open it up for questions for a minute if anyone has any questions. If not, I'll hit unrecord.
Hey, I didn't get what the last, I'm like a note-taking person. I can't help it. I didn't get what the S stood for in WINS.
Self-love. So that could be, personal development of some type, or, digging into why they might binge eat or a struggle that they've had of some type.
And then did you suggest doing all 4 of those posts every day in the challenge group or vary those throughout the week? Because I've only been posting daily unless it's like a workout pic, but kind of just once daily. I'm
going to try, and this is the first month that I've done this. I'm going to try and do at least my auto schedule posts and then 2 of those a day.
Okay.
And then hopefully work up to the 4 if I can at least do this.
Right.
But I was thinking too, I also don't want to bombard them, but at the same time, they signed up for a group. So
Justin and I were talking about this today exactly because like I am having the hardest time with my business I've like ever had in 2 years. And I feel like a lot of it is that I'm just not, we've kind of gotten to where we do one challenge group and we've kept it open for a really long time. So when you have that, there's no motivation to like run out and get new people because we have like 50 people in the group and they're very active, a lot of them, and we're seeing so many great success stories and people become coaches out of it, but we're not like inviting for a new group. So we're starting we're starting a new group next Tuesday, and I'm like really trying hard to invite new people to it.
Good.
And we were talking about that today, and I'm like, I've got to get back on that system that I had before where you're inviting to something constantly, whether it's a free group or a paid group.
Yeah. And if we all go back to the basics, I think that's whatever is going on, it's really slow and everyone's feeling it. And my paycheck has been the lowest it's been, I think, in 3 years. So we're all feeling it, but at the same time, we kind of have to look at ourselves and go, okay, what were we doing at some point in order to get where we are right now? And yes, we need to change what we're doing because what got us here won't get us there. But at the same time, we need to go back to our roots. And like what you said, inviting 2 challenge groups, and that's awesome that group is doing good, but maybe having a separate group of new people and then into that one.
Right.
So
I got 2 things. One, I still have not successfully run a challenge group ever. I've tried advertising for them, but I've never been able to get one going. 2, I have paid for advertising and on a Facebook page for various things. Right now, I've gotten minor traction on a post that I think is like basically an internship type thing. A lot of fellow coaches have liked it, but there's been a few people that I don't really know, and I've tried messaging them, but I just don't know how to really connect from that point. I mean, I've tried posting on the post itself something, to get everybody, like it gets a notification or something, but how to take it beyond that point other than them liking it,
On the like page, I was talking to Christine about that earlier. There was
like page, personal page, whatever.
Well, on paying for advertisement, like on 1 month, I had 1 sale, which I thought that was amazing because I had never even done that. This past one, I got nothing. I got no comments. I got nothing on it. And so you might kind of want to look at A, the wording, and B, who you targeted, and that might even be a part of it, because there was one time where I was getting people like only Hispanic people, and so then I don't know what I had put in, but I was having to use Google Translate to like talk to these people. So I mean, it could be I don't know. It could be I always get myself in really weird situations. It could be just that, your target was wrong, and kind of go back and look at that. I'll send you, if you want to build your like page, I did Jesse Reagan's stuff. And he's really big on using a picture with font, using that same picture, different wording, then using that wording with a different picture and seeing where you get the most traction. And my mind just wasn't in all that. But if you want to go through that training, he really walks you through on who your target audience is and then how to get, the best bang for your buck.
Okay.
I can post that in there and all of you guys can use it. I'm pretty sure I still have the information somewhere. So you can look at that. Challenge groups are hard. I've always felt like that challenge groups are just hard. And it's partly because for a long time, my nutrition and my working out was not where it was supposed to be. My eating was still all crazy and out of whack. And so I felt like that I couldn't really help other people if I needed help myself.
Yeah.
They're still not as fun to me, even though I really kind of have worked on that part of my life. They're still not fun to me, but I like the business part of it a whole lot more. I can't motivate other people to work out. I love this part of it. But kind of look at where you've struggled with and where you overcame it. And more than likely, you're going to find people in that way if you can figure out a struggle and an overcome situation. And then, like, because that's where I started getting like a lot of emotional eating people was from that, when I really kind of started talking about that. Until then, I couldn't help other people because I didn't even know what to do with myself. So kind of look at that. And also look at, maybe who you're inviting, who your goal, your target customer is. You had like the perfect customer, who would that be? And those are the people that you're going to want to talk to. You're not going to want to talk to the public. You're going to want to talk to as if that person is sitting in front of you. And I know that's kind of really hard to even grasp. And it takes a lot of like thinking about who you are and then who you want to help as well. So kind of look at all that as well. And then it literally is just sitting down and inviting, and just saying, hey, I'm holding this group. I just didn't know if you would like to join. I haven't posted about it yet, but I'd love to have you hop in. And then like just kind of keeping it like that. And that's always kind of helped too. Whereas on the like page, I felt like that I had to like vomit this whole spew of stuff because, we don't know each other and I haven't built a relationship up with them. And so almost all of them would not respond to me. But if I keep things really short and simple, then it seems like I can keep a conversation going. But keep at it. I mean, if you keep doing it every single month, you're going to figure out things every single month that you could do differently. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of doing it consistently.
Have you found that people are participating more, like now that you're using the app?
So last month, out of my actual challengers, I think I had like a couple of people. The coaches did well.
The one time, I've only used the app one time, and it was when it first, when they first started, like the first month it was out, I did a group with it. And most of the girls who did it had already done a challenge with me. And at the end, there was hardly any participation. And these girls had participated before, but they flat out told me at the end that they hated the app, that they much preferred my Facebook groups over the app because they didn't like the fact that they had to get on a different thing to log everything. They would rather just be on Facebook and do it. So I haven't done the app since then.
Yeah.
And like I want it for tracking purposes, but nope, like it's already, I feel like I'm like 1 month where I have so many people participating in my groups and like very active, and then the next month it's like 1 or 2 people that are active, and then the next month it'll be a lot. But so I'm just afraid to use the app again.
Now Erica Buzzard, who I had talked to, she said that she did not use the app. And I feel like that it has kind of taken like a personal level out of it. I don't know why, because it's still you posting and you're still interacting, but it doesn't seem as personable as like a Facebook like page or a Facebook group page. I'm not sure why. But she said that she still uses the Facebook group system. So I think it kind of depends on like your people, your target people, and you, and what you want, what's easier for you and what's easier for them, and you really kind of have to do what is easier for them.
Right.
But she said when she was talking about the wins, I said, do you post all that in the app? Like, what are you using? And she said, I still use Facebook group. So you could try, if you felt like that didn't go so hot, then try it again in Facebook. and then maybe try another month, even though every month is different. But try it again and then see, if it's just the people or if it's that you just do 10 times better on Facebook.
Yeah.
With your target people.
I think it's the people. I'm doing both Facebook and the app and inviting the same people in my groups, and only a few of them want to do the app. So I'm
Okay.
posting the same thing in each thing. So whichever one you want to look at, it's the same post for that day.
Okay.
Copy and pasting from the challenge group info and pictures.
I wonder if it is more, because if you think about it, I wonder if it is more geared towards like the millennials, the 20-year-olds, early 30s that love like apps and all this kind of stuff and all these bells and whistles. Whereas other people, in their mid 30s and on, they're like, just make it easy, please. Like, don't make this complicated.
Except for my sister. She likes the app better.
Well,
And is she the one that Snapchats?
Yes.
so if you have somebody, like, do they have to be your customer to use the app? Or can it be anybody?
I don't
Because,
think
like, I had a
so.
free customer who stopped talking to, like, he was emailing me, and we emailed back and forth a couple of times, but he was like dying to use the app. And like, even when I talked to him about it, I don't think that he fully grasped that like the app is like a challenge group or whatever. And I said, I don't do things in the app because he kept asking me for the code to get in. And I was like, well, I don't have anything going in the app right now, but I do have Facebook groups. If you want to look me up on Facebook, I'd be happy to add you in. And he like stopped talking to me then.
You're
And
old.
I was like going to email him back and be like, maybe I can get you in somebody else's group. And then I was wondering how that would even work, because the people who I invited last time, like, they were all my people. So
I think like I could if I had his name and email address, I could send him an email. But now, and Mike might be able to say this, or anyone with an Apple, there is a body board now where I guess it's kind of like Instagram, where you can get followers, all that kind of jazz. Is that in the app, or is that like a totally different app?
from Beachbody?
Yeah, actually, Bodyboard is a lot like Instagram in a sense, but it's quote Beachbody, and it's similar to that, but it's not anything to do with challenge groups or anything like that at all. And people that are on there that I've gained some followers and stuff like that, I can't even tell, by their profile. It's hard to tell if they're actually quote just a normal everyday average person or if they're a coach. So I think the follower coaches. So what's the point?
Yeah. He might like something like that then, if you can get him to respond back to your email.
But it's people like it right now. It's
Yeah.
popular,
But I don't think, I think that for the code, I think that's for that specific group. And then once that group is over with, I think that code would be dead.
You can't get on. I don't think.
Yeah. So,
And don't you, when you use the app, I've actually tried it out once just to see how it would go. I never actually run a group, but I set it up. You actually have to set it up beforehand and
With the
have
number of days.
data when it's going to go, just like everything going. So
right. Yeah.
I don't know if I like that feature about it, having to set all that up beforehand and commit to it, and then before you can even look at what's in there,
Yeah. Yeah.
Do that with a Facebook group. You can sit there and set it up and know what you're going to do before you even have it running,
Well, that's why I just kind of stick to 21 days. And so I already had a photo for it, although I didn't even upload it this time. Set it for 21 days, and then I go in and basically auto schedule out for a week at a time. And that way all that's kind of taken care of to where I don't have to worry about that.
What are you using to auto schedule?
There on the app, you go.
I didn't know you could do that.
Mm-hmm. And it's got all the guides already there. And so I open up like the the multi-program, 21-day fix, and 21-day fix extreme. And so I just kind of pull from all of those and just auto schedule them out. And it will say like post to group, and then you can put schedule, or it might say schedule post somewhere on there. But you go on the desktop version of the challenge tracker portal, and just auto schedule them all out. So at 6 o'clock in the morning, they get them. So I'm not up at 6.
Can you auto schedule in your Facebook groups too?
That's what I was going to ask.
With Hootsuite, yeah.
I use Tiny Torch.
Yes.
I haven't been able to for some reason. Not to a specific group, but I haven't been using Hootsuite lately.
Tiny Torch kind of freaks me out because if they're having issues, then everything you've ever posted with Tiny Torch and everything that people have said completely disappears till they fix it. I've had it happen several times.
Oh, I've never had that happen. I mean, I've had it not post something, but then I just have to go on and send it myself, but it doesn't like disappear.
Okay, well maybe it was a glitch and they've gotten that worked out because that was back about a year ago.
Yeah, it happened to me a lot actually in one challenge group that I ran, but then since then I've never even gotten an email where it's like been down or whatever. But I like it because you can search other people's posts. I mean, I don't know if you can do that on Hootsuite, but I like search 21-day fix, and I find all these other people's posts. I'm like, oh, that's good. Oh, yeah, that's good. Share. That's mine. Mine now.
No, I didn't know you could do
Sorry
that.
if that's any of your guys.
Oh, yeah. I've done that. I search groups, I search 21-day fix, and I find posts all over the place of different people, and I'll sit there and go, oh, I like that one. I haven't done it lately, but it reminds me I need to do it again because I get the ideas, you know?
Yeah. All right. So we are like way over. Okay. So set your date, your challenge group date, and set your intern date. Don't stress if you're not going to have anybody. Just start from there. Set the date. Then whichever one you're starting first, start advertising for it. Beyond that, don't stress yourself out. Don't worry how many people are in it. As far as groups, you want, say, out of 4 people, you want half of them to have bought challenge packs. You want maybe 1 or 2 of them to have purchased the program, and very few to be reoccurring customers. So kind of keep that in your head as you're also running challenge groups. So don't stress, don't worry, start at point 1, set your consistent dates for both, and then start advertising for the one that's coming up first. So I'm going to hit unrecord, and you guys have a good